Hey guys, this is a quick VIP video based on a question I just got from a VIP member. A really good, insightful question, and it is about when you draw Fibonacci lines. So I think this is actually in relation to the price action we had on Bitcoin today. If we kind of zoom into the 1 hour chart, we can see that we had this pretty explosive wick going to the down and the upside. This is why I'm very happy not to have any orders on Bitcoin right now. Nothing that could have gotten triggered and really screwed me over here. I mean, this is bot hunting territory, stop hunting territory right here. So absolutely no surprise that this has happened. Really shouldn't be catching anyone off guard. And so the question was, where should you draw Fibonacci retracements from? Now, you wouldn't really draw Fibonacci retracement on this because there isn't any trend in this case, but I want to liken this to Ripple, where there actually was a trend. And so, in this case, it is, do you discount the price action that happens on Bitcoin in this case? If we go into the 1 hour, if this was actually a trend, do you discount the wick? Do you perhaps just draw it from a candle body? Do you discount the entire candle? Maybe you ignore one part of the wick, but not the other? Really good questions to be tackling here. So let's take the example of Ripple, which has had a nice little uptrend here. So we're on the Binance chart, but every other chart on Ripple, I believe, has had this massive wick. And you can see that since this trend started way back in September, I had my Fibonacci drawn exactly like this, and I haven't changed it one time. Now, the reason for that is that the price did end up trading this high, and I don't think that this was unorganic or inorganic trading action. It may have been, but the chances of that are very slim. How do I know that? We actually have to go into a different chart for that. Let's take a look at XRP BTC on Bittrex, where we have a lot more price history. And the reason I know that is because Ripple has a historic pattern of trading very harshly like this, where it just absolutely shoots up completely unpredictably. I mean, we take a look at this daily candle. This is 1 day of trading where Ripple moves up by 50%. So it's not out of character for Ripple to move in absurd ways like this. What's this daily candle? Let's take a look. It opened and closed in a 20% gain, but it went as high as a 60% gain, right? That's 70, my bad, 70% gain in one candle. This is not unheard of for Ripple. So that is why I don't think this was inorganic trading action. I think it may well have been just natural trading action happening. And so it's not like the Bitcoin wick in this case on the 1 hour, where this was obviously just bots. I mean, zoom into the 1 minute, and yeah, it doesn't get clearer than that. There's absolutely nothing going on. Get a massive spike, a massive dump, and then back to the same baseline. Not surprising at all. Absolutely not. So if we go onto the 1 day chart again with Ripple, I'm just going to close out Telegram so that doesn't happen again. This is a case of determining which price action is legitimate and which isn't. So I showed you why I don't think, why I know the price action on Bitcoin today wasn't legitimate. However, why the price action on Ripple was quite likely to be legitimate. And so it's a case of determining that. That's kind of step one. That's the biggest one. If it's not legitimate price action like that, I would just typically ignore it. However, you can still take it into account, and there's a lot of nuance to that. Now, the next thing with Ripple is really just seeing how the Fibonacci line is respected. I could have decided to completely ignore this wick, and a lot of good traders would have done that. So I could have drawn the Fibonacci just going to this high. And would the Fibonacci retracement work? So I'm going to count these wicks, or potentially even the wicks a little bit higher, or maybe even the candle bodies. So let's start off with the candle bodies. If we zoom in now, the Fibonacci goes from the bottom over here to the top of where the candle bodies open and close. And we can see that the 382 support lines up exactly with where we consolidated, and the 618 support also lines up very well with this little fun trading action that would have screwed over a lot of people. We get 236 support being respected, 382 support being respected. I don't know if you want to count 0.5 there, and the 618 line. So this works. Now let's extend it up to the wick. Does it still work? These two wicks over here, and we get 382 acting as a bit of support, a bit of resistance at all of these kind of. Let's just get my drawing tool out. We get it acting as resistance in these scenarios. We bounce off the 0.6 line, and we bounce off even more accurately perhaps off the 618 line. So again, it is valid. So it really is very, very subjective where you want to draw it. Now, I like to draw it from here because in this case, not only is the 382 level respected as resistance, the 618 level is respected as support, and in between the 0.5 level also has some interaction. So at every single significant line, 382, 0.5, 618, we're getting trading action on the Fibonacci, and that is why I think it was accurate to draw it from this level. We get nice support when we break above. When we break above the 382 level, first time we try well. Second time we try breaking above the 382 level, we get rejected. Then we break through, old resistance turns into support. We find support over here, which is, fairly good support. I mean, it lasts a couple of months. How long did this one last? 63 days, all right? So 2 months acting as support, and then on the way back down, with the exception of this bot action, I believe it was. I think this was like some Coinbase listing news or something. We get more resistance at this level. Not only do candle bodies close and open at this level, but we also get wicks as rejection. So yet again confirming how it works. So this is a case of, first of all, determining, was the wick legitimate price action? If it was, does the Fibonacci retracement fit in with the trend? It's literally a case of just seeing, is it valid? If it's valid, yes, then stick with it. Now, another example is the Cardano Fibonacci retracement, which we've just had a winning trade based off of. And I was telling you about a long time ago, I don't know if you guys will remember this, go into the 4-hour chart, that we had a Fibonacci drawn that I drew from this low, not from the low over here. And this was an example of where I was bending the rules to fit my own convenience. And this is usually not a good thing to do. You only want to do it if you can significantly back up why you're doing it. And in this case, I could, because the 618 line lines up perfectly with support, resistance, all over this range. This is actually where we bottomed out for this most recent bottom, and upon this breakout we had beautiful volume as well. Now the 382 level also respected to an absolute T, the 2 most important Fibonacci levels. So even though I didn't draw this Fibonacci what would be almost objectively the correct way, it still worked out properly. Now if I extend this downwards to the low, which is how you typically should be drawing it, does it still work as well? Not really. We're not finding the same support on this 382 level. We are still getting some pretty decent confirmations, but not as much as if I had placed my Fibonacci retracement over here. So again, it's a case of finding out where the levels are respected the most and just carrying through that way. This is very, very subjective TA, and this is how I navigate problems like this. It's very relevant because in crypto, we have a lot of wash trading going on. We have a lot of bot trading going on, and we can't really tell what's real and what's not. And so it is very important to have these skills to determine which kind of lines you're going to use and where, and as well why. Really hope you have enjoyed this one, and I'm out. Peace.